all set up, ready to go.
Are you still there, Harry?
Yeah, I was...
Oh, are you still there, Harry? Oh, sorry, I'm just going to mute. Oh. I'm going to need to restart live stream because I've noticed you can see what I see when it's like all the on-air shit. See if I can change it through this. Oh, that's perfect. There we go. I'm the one in the chat, so there's no need to bother. Are you in it as well?
No.
Alright. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to round 6 of the Red Hours Racing. Currently today hosted at the Circuit of the Americans, which for you that don't know is the USA Grand Prix. My name is Hugs for Drugs. My commentary partner with me today is Harry. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm very well, thank you. Look forward to a double feature race today here at the Circuit of the Americas.
Oh yeah, definitely. My last time out here with Indigo, I scored very good points. If I'm correct, it was eight points I scored for me, which, as we all know, for me is pretty good.
Now, one of the few tracks on the circuit that is obviously anti-clockwise. We have 20 corners, 2 DRS zones, 5.5 kilometres, and lots of high-speed corners compared to other circuits. So, track limits are going to be interesting on this one, I think, coming out of turn 7, especially.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you know this, but did you know when they were constructing this track, the wide sections of the track in Austin, the designers took the inspiration from Hockenheim and Silverstone?
You can definitely see a lot of Silverstone, especially in Sector 1.
Oh yeah, from turns 3 all the way around to 7, I'd say there.
Definitely some Beckett's there, isn't there?
Absolutely. And especially if you think about it as well, turn 11 to 12, that looks a little bit quite like Cops.
Possibly, yeah. So what are we expecting tonight? Obviously, Singapore had a lot of incidents. We had an excellent recovery from Jay's.
Oh, yeah,
and obviously the race winner in the end being Mill, was it, who won it in the end?
No, I've had this up earlier.
I'm looking at points rather than positions. Sorry, it was Super Calgon that won it.
Yeah, I've just got the stands up here because I edited them today.
Yep, so Super Calgon won it, but Jay ended up coming third, so a good recovery there. So he didn't lose that many points at the top of the standings. So he's currently 13 points still at the top there. And obviously looking at the field tonight, we do have our championship leader. I'm just saying, do we have a Super Calgon?
Calgon.
I don't think we do tonight.
No, I don't think there's no Calgon tonight.
So a massive opportunity. We obviously 2 races here with the sprint and then the feature race for Jay-Z to really put one hand on that title with only 1 race left after the 2 tonight.
Unless something dramatically goes wrong in the DNFs, then you've got Shoulder who could come through and take it.
Just looking now, not participating. Shoulder's not here tonight either, though.
True.
Super Calgon has checked in tonight, so whether he's going to be a last-minute entrance or whether this is the field set. We are just waiting for qualifying to get underway, guys, and then obviously we will have our first sprint race before the grid gets flipped on its head there for our feature race.
So where would you say is the most critical braking opportunities around this track to get them overtakes done?
Obviously down the pit straight, going into that turn one, you can try and outbrake your opponents there, or try and get good traction, taking the outside line with the cutback there, and obviously with the, I guess bravery is a big thing here on that first section. Those who push the limit, should we say, you know, rather than brake in, ease off the throttle, those that are more experienced around this track, and then obviously coming out the hairpin, down the back straight, lots of overtaking opportunities. It's one of the better tracks in terms of opportunities, but of course, again, it is all about getting around that first corner on that first lap cleanly and without any damage, as we saw last week. That can make or break races.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially that back straight turns from turn 11 to turn 12, that massive long straight. Be some plenty of overtakes going on there, because if I'm correct, that does have a DRS zone.
That is a DRS zone, yep, coming out the hairpin. There's the detection zone, and then down the back straight. But again, the big thing about those that have good traction, again, it's one of the tracks where if you have those fresh tyres, they really shine through, especially late in the race. Those extra traction just sticks to the track, and it can mean the difference between a tenth or half a second in some cases, coming out those hairpins and just getting those wheels in line and going straight on. So we are just waiting for Super Calgon. He is due.
So this is one of the faster tracks as well, isn't it? With top speed of 308 kilometers per hour.
Yes, again, going down that back straight, and again, it's probably one of the tracks that you're on the throttle for the majority of the lap as well. Apart from the hairpins, you are just coming off the throttle on most of them and just
I've got
slinging it around.
Turn 15, that's like a Monaco. The one in Monaco, isn't it? It's how tight it can be. 1 second.
Again, most of the hairpins, they're fairly high-speed hairpins in terms of a 180 degree. It is just back planting that inside curb and then getting on the throttle as early as possible without losing too much traction, because that is where you lose the speed. Could you just take over
for a second for me? I just need to
that's fine, mate. Yep. So again, guys, we are just waiting for one more racer, I believe, who is our race winner in Singapore and second in the standings, Super Calgon. Of course, we do want a close race here, so Super Calgon getting a bit of a benefit of the doubt, I think. And then we will crack on. So it is a one-shot qualifying, and then that will set the grid for our 14-lap sprint race, and then we'll flip the grid on the head, except for the DNFs, who will start at the back, and then we'll do our feature race. And then we will see how the standings are going into our final round in Austria. Let us know in the chat if you're here, if you're rewatching, are you planning to get F1 22? What you most look forward to, the difference between this and F1 22. Again, for me, a lot of the new features aren't taking my fancy, really. The F1 Life, or whatever it's called, and the safety cars and supercars. So we will see how that goes. But again, circuit the Americas tonight, and we're hoping for some good, clean racing. And as soon as this last driver joins us, we will be off with qualifying.
It should be an interesting race.
Again, that one-shot qualifying as well is a lot different to those that think, oh, I'll go on the mediums and give it a taste to see what lap I can put in. And of course, if you exceed them track limits, that's your lap done. No second chances on a one-shot. Super Calgon has joined now, I believe, so we should see people readying up shortly, and we should get on to that qualifying. Who's your pick for this race, Hugs?
I might have to give it to the championship leader here. He might show an interesting one, but at the minute, it's anyone's game. Anyone could take it.
Do you think Jay's in the back of his head will be thinking, I've got a good lead here, stay out of trouble, possibly give up a position for someone more aggressive, a bit like the Alonso-Max dilemma yesterday?
Well,
yeah, Alonso
definitely
can lose the race, Max can lose the championship.
Oh, definitely, absolutely, yeah.
So, do we think anyone's going to go on the mediums here and do a bit of
personally, my experience from driving on this track, mediums were the better tyre. So
14 laps? I think anyone... It's going to be interesting in terms of tyre wear, though. I don't think the softs can go for 14 laps.
This is a sprint race as well.
Exactly. So you're looking to try not to pit on a sprint race, obviously.
They're going to need to.
We'll see. Right, so one-shot qualifying. So this is going to be fast and frantic. Luckily, Hugs is going to be cameraman tonight, so he's going to be flicking through all the drivers to see what is going on, and we'll try and keep you up to date, because obviously a one-shot, they're all going out at the same time.
I'm just trying to get comfy now. It's the best way to commentate.
Obviously, we've got a few debuts tonight as well, haven't we?
Do we?
Jenneth, Leonard Cam, are they both?
The Jenneth is Lando Cam. No, he raced in Singapore.
Did he? Don't remember. And obviously, Butler on the back of his debut last week is making another appearance for us tonight as well.
Yeah, I would have been, but instead I didn't fancy the sprint race.
Oh, interesting here. We have rain in America.
Especially in Texas as well. Hardly see rain.
That changes everything.
Them slower people towards the back, they could bring something now.
This closes up the field in my experience, because those fast corners become slow for everyone now. You know, you can't go flat out through them. It is all about braking early and making sure you're there or thereabouts at the thing. Right, so here we go.
Sorry a second, Harry, but sorry for people watching. I had a little bit of a latency joining on to it, and some people are already halfway through their lap.
No, they're just coming out of the first corner now. Obviously, the grid is constantly changing here, as you can see, because they're all going out at the same time. We've got Harry at the minute up top, Jay-Z and Super Calgon both there as well. But again, it's constantly changing at the minute. We've got John Holmes. Is he out there at the bottom?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so we've lost someone nice and early on the throttle there. Harry Mills retired from the session. End of sector 1 here, we have got Jay-Z leading.
That doesn't surprise me. He's extremely fast, and I think his wet weather ability as well is really good.
So, coming up to the end of the back straight, we've got Jay-Z first, followed by Ben Smith, Super Calgon, Jacko 4th, SLH 5th, Casper 6th. Again, can't see the time difference between them. Flicking between Jays and Ben, it is very close up top, and Super Calgon as well. They're literally separated by 10th, I'd say, at this juncture. Jay's a bit deep there, going out the hairpin, but he still maintains his first place. Very different commentating on this than a 20-minute session.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Casper's retired.
Oh, obviously these will again still start at the back for the feature race.
No, the end grid. It was the end grid. Jay-Z with pole position.
No,
I thought we were flipping the grid at the end of the sprint race.
Yeah, but the ones that have disqualified or DNF'd still start at the back because they haven't set a time.
I thought we were flipping the finishing grid of the race. Sorry, my mistake. So our championship leader in the wet sticks it on pole by 2/10 from Ben, and nearly a second ahead of Super Calgon.
I've just realised what you said. Yeah. So if anyone disqualified or DNFs during the sprint race will start at the back of the feature race. Sorry, it was just me getting muddled up there.
That's fine. So, championship leader first, second in championship third, and Ben separates them.
This will
all
be
to play for.
One.
Absolutely.
And obviously, as we see here, like I've just put onto the instance, 3 of them got disqualified, exceeding track limits, and Casper DNF'd for terminal damage.
We have a wet race as well, it would look like. So, now is this going to be full wets, or are we going to stick with inters, do you think?
Well, as we all know, the clouds are different, the rain's different in America. From all the standing water, because obviously no cars have been on it currently, I think it might be a full wet.
Look, this rain looks heavier than qualifying, so I think we could be on a full wet race, which basically means everyone's on the same strategy. The full wets can go the distance.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So the top 3 in the championship are the top 3 in the grid, and Ben Smith must be fuming about those 2 DNFs earlier in the season here, because without them, he would be right up there. But I'll let you commentate for the start.
Well, if I'm correct, this will just be the formation lap.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah, that's for the feature race only. My bad there.
But Polly's obviously got away fantastically here, but has a drive-through penalty for jumping the start tour rate. This is a bit of a messy start here, guys. There's lots of contact at the bottom. There's a has been spun by a McLaren there.
It's a safety car already.
It is a safety car. Jennings put it in the barrier there.
That is not...
He spun a Haas, which was John Holmes, I believe. Casper only just getting off the start now because he's lost a front wing. So much going on there. It's like, I think most people expected a formation lap there, it would seem.
Yeah, I was really surprised at that. And as I've just got up here, we were correct in our suggestion. It is a full wet tyres for everybody.
So Polly's gained 3 positions, but obviously he's going to have to yield that when he serves that drive-through penalty. Yeah, everyone on full wets.
They can't actually serve these drive-through penalties until the safety car has come in.
Yeah.
So this has not been everyone's race who has got that. And it's only Polly with the drive-through penalty.
Yeah, the rest are all 5 seconds for collisions and corner cutting, I believe.
Jennings has a 10-second.
Yeah, he spun. I think it was John Holmes that he spun in turn 1, and then he put it in the barrier. So not exactly sure what went wrong there. Again, we all got caught a bit by surprise then, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think this will be a short safety car as well, because if we think about it on the track wise,
yeah,
they're all catching up fairly quickly.
But there's going to be a lot of people pitting here. Not sure we needed the safety car at that stage.
I think I saw a bit of contact there, out the front.
So Jacko's dipped into the pits.
I think that's where I saw with... I think he got damage. Like, around that last corner, I'm not 100% sure. Yes, it did. It was front wing damage. Got Torek.
I was just straight doing that behind a safety car, and yeah, it's the front wing club here.
It's my favourite type of club.
Jeff is being allowed to serve. They are being allowed to serve the penalties. It's just the drive-through possibly that they're not being allowed. But obviously, Jennifer will only serve the 5 seconds, not the full 10.
Yeah, it will only be the 5 seconds he will be allowed to serve. So that leaves Pinto and Jennifer left to serve their 5-second time penalties.
Polly will obviously serve his drive-through when the safety car comes in. That kind of ruins his sprint race there.
Oh yeah, definitely. That will land him right at the back. Not a good one for Ferrari there.
No, and again, What do you think got him there on the drive in the start? I think he was just expecting the formation lap, or just eager on the clutch?
I think he might. This is probably what we're talking about. I think this was just eager for the clutch.
But again, we are under safety car here. I'm not sure the safety car was needed for this.
I just need a bit of technical difficulties there. My controller spazzed out. But I am back now.
Ferrari's 1 and 2. And again, we're just waiting to go racing here. Hopefully the safety car comes in this lap, so we can get a lot of racing in this sprint race.
You've still got Jeneth and Casper to catch up, and they're just coming down the back straight now. So it'll be surprising if the safety car comes in this lap.
It could be a late call. Again, I want to go racing. I want to get this sprint race underway. We had one corner.
Yeah.
And then we were under safety car rules.
I'm pretty sure everyone else would like it to get it over and done with as well.
It is going to stay out another lap. So, as you were for another lap around the circuit, the Americans.
As K-Mags just said there, fresh set of weights required here. Or is that just you, K-Mag? Right, sorry about that, I'm back now, but I'm pretty sure the safety car will be in this lap because the rear two have caught up. You there, Harry?
Yeah, just recharging my batteries, ready for this restart. So, now, does Polly let Jay go at the start here? As a good teammate?
I definitely would, but in the end of the day, it's every man for himself.
But again, Ferrari do have that massive advantage in the Constructors' Championship at present.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's happened here at the back, but...
Safety car is in this lap. Jennifer's lost his front wing again, though.
Oh, I wonder if he got brake checked by Casper then.
Possibly.
Oh,
Casper getting very close to John Holmes.
It would have been John Holmes then, if Jennifer's lost front wing damage.
No, Casper's the Haas in front of him. John Holmes is in front of that one.
Yeah, but Jennifer was 16th, and he dropped down.
Okay. Right. So it would have been to the back of John Holmes. Maybe a bit of a retribution there for that first corner.
Oh, yeah.
But safety car is coming in now, so Polly will back up the field now. And we will see. Hopefully no one goes into the back of anyone here and ruins their race. Obviously, Polly's got that drive-through to serve. And Jennifer, obviously, with that penalty in Pinto. With 5 seconds
ride
as well.
on board here with our championship leader.
So Polly does floor it. Liam into the pits. I thought there was a bit of damage there. I saw the Mercedes swerve.
We'll see Ben Smith.
I think he's gone into the back of Super Calgon. We have a yellow flag in sector 3. Jacko is out.
Oh wow. That Jacko, he's a good racer. I did him as my teammate in Singapore.
Ben is up the inside of Jay's. Ben is ahead of Jay's now.
He was ahead of him a long time ago. He was ahead of him down the straight.
Which means Super Calgon now is the car behind our championship leader. We have a yellow flag further back. We have someone off track.
I think that might be Liam.
That's Liam. It's Liam. Liam's gone into Inters.
Ooh.
Bowl, again, it's one of them. Do something different because his race is over. In theory now. So, do something different. Yellow flag in sector 2. There's lots of cars all over the place here.
that's another Mercedes. I think that's
SLH that spun it here. He's gone off, and Liam cruising up to the back of his teammate now.
That's not a good start for Mercedes at all.
No.
Oh, Casper
is out. Has he lost it out of the hairpin?
No, it was an instant.
Torre is facing the wrong way here.
Yeah, Torre and Casper. I just switched them and I saw him spin.
But yeah, I can see Casper in the wall next to him. It's another safety car.
Wow. 4 laps, 2 safety cars.
And that means Polly can't surface drive-through again.
This is not Polly's race at all.
No. That brings Liam into it though. If the conditions are drying up a bit, and he can fire up them
It's slowing down as well.
It'd be interesting to see what Jeff is telling the drivers here on what is the optimum tyre.
Polly has pitted. Everyone's pitted. Polly and Ben Smith and Jersey. Looks like everyone's pitting here. Oh,
we think they're going on to Inters?
Calgon hit the wall going in. He's got front wing damage. And John Holmes here needs to watch himself because he's just got quite a few time penalties here. Yeah, he's now got a drive-through penalty.
So everyone switches to the Inters, and Liam is in P9 now.
P10, Jerry just got out ahead of him.
Yeah, but it's given the position to Jay's. It's giving it to Liam.
No, I'm gonna feel it's forced to give it back. But I think Liam may have made the correct decision here. Going on to them.
He took the gamble, and obviously expecting maybe another safety car.
And it paid off.
Yeah, it's brought him right into this race now, and obviously on track he's in theory we had Ben leading with Jay's second, so you got Ben, and then but the people that are staying on the wets, they obviously think it's still wet enough. And this is a very interesting grid now. It's like watching Canada again.
Oh yeah, Canada was just a heck of a race, but we've also had Caspers in the comments. Well, first wet race since losing full traction. This is inevitable. Casper, I don't know if you want to join the party or stay in the comments, but how did it happen?
More importantly, will there be an incident report being filed as we speak?
I think there more than likely will be against Torre.
So, is the safety car going to wait for Jenny to catch up next lap?
Alright. Oh, you just went too fast for it. What happened with Torre then? Because I saw that. Did you clip Torre?
It's so easy to lose the traction out that hairpin though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
With the DRS you're eager to get on the accelerator. Safety car is going to stay out, so we're nearly at halfway in this sprint race. And Butler is pitting now.
I think
Harry as well.
All the
Calvert, they're
people
all going to Inters, yeah. So, John Holmes is coming in as well. So, Polly takes the lead again, but of course still has that drive through that he's not been able to serve because we haven't had a full racing lap yet.
Oh, yeah.
But Liam now, P3. A genius call that is looking now for the Mercedes.
That is a brilliant call from him. It's like they could see into the future and knew there was going to be a safety car.
Turned a bad situation into a good one.
Absolutely. But this as well brings Ben Smith up into P2 with Jay-Z in P4. And Calgon.
Super Calgon, P7 now.
Looks like
he's front wing damage.
Yeah, it looks like he's pulling the wash machine tablets out now.
So, we expect... Now, Jeneth has pitted again.
I think he's just swapped for the Inters because he was still on wets.
I hope this doesn't affect the safety car. The safety car should be in this lap, regardless of the fact he's not caught up. there's no reason for the safety car to be still out now because he chose to pit when he had caught up to the back there.
Oh yeah, if this isn't
And
this
in
is
a
shocking.
14 lap race, we want this race to actually have some racing. I think for future sprints we have reduced safety cars as well. That's something we learn here. Again, guys, those that join us now, we do have the feature race coming after this, where all the finishers will be flipped on their heads, so it'll be a reverse grid from the finishers only. So Casper and Jacko will be at the back for the feature race.
I think for
safety car in this lap.
As well, I think for the next gen of this, or F1 2022, the safety cars are broadcast view only as well. So we will have a better view.
Ben, so close to the back of Polly there.
I wonder if he's trying to do a Verstappen here on Hamilton. Just hush him along a little bit.
Possibly, but it doesn't do any good for Ben to get involved with Polly, because Polly does have that drive-through to serve. So it's almost like Ben could control the field himself here. He could back up the field behind him and let Polly go.
Oh yeah. But as well, then that gives Polly the advantage.
He's got a drive-through. He's not going to make 15 seconds up in a lap, is he?
True, but...
Right. When does Polly put his foot down? Straight on that last corner?
Oh yeah, definitely. As soon as
Ben hogging the outside here so he can get the sprint like he did on Jay's. There goes Polly, foot down now, got the fluids in line. He's done it very well. Jay's Liam out of that DRS. No, not DRS, sorry. We just see at the back there, it's Jennifer again. SLH into the pits.
I wonder if there was damage there. I'll just drop down to have a look.
Possibly.
Oh, Harry's span as well. Yeah, SLH had wing damage.
We have Blades and Lano. We have, it is Haas. John Holmes has spun it as well. He's lost his front wing. Managed to get it back on track. As we join the front, Polly.
Yellow flag sector 1 and 2.
Yeah, they're slow McLarens, I think. Polly into the hairpin. Ben half a second behind him here. Again, Ben just needs to keep it. And SLH just spun it coming out of the pits as well.
This is not a good one for him.
Nope. But Liam in P3 now. They've dropped him. Ben's dropped Liam. So Jays needs to get on with this if he wants to challenge for the race lead from here. We assume Polly is going to finally be able to dive into the pits here to serve that drive-through, because it's his first lap that he's got to the end of it without a safety car being deployed. Touch wood. We've still got just a few corners left before he can do that.
Unless he sticks it out and tries to get some distance ahead and serves it right up towards the end.
I think just serve it now, get clean air at the back, and then just make your way through. He is diving in, so he's going to serve it. So that releases Ben into first place and leader of this race at half race distance. And he is 2 seconds, well, 4 seconds.
Lando Cam has now just made a move on Blades going up into P5. But look, by looks of it, Blades is wanting that position back all over him.
Jay's on the back of Liam here. He's been dropped by Ben. Ben's got 2.5 second lead over Liam. And a good start to the lap there. Liam is dropping Jay's just a little bit. And then Laddard come in and leading a bit of a train there through the fast corners at the start there. And then all the way down to P8 with Butler. And then they've dropped a bit of a gap down to Calvert. And then after that, it's all a bit spread out. So no DRS in these conditions either.
So we've got Johnny Holmes just coming into pits now. After that front wing damage of Mazza spinning. Funnily enough, in a hat as well.
So everyone opening up that battery down the back straight with no DRS. The best chance to probably overtake here, but Mr. again, it's a bit of a train.
We've got, if I'm correct, an owner of Indigo here.
And yeah, it's Jay's closing up. So Liam's faster in the start of the lap, and Jay seems to have the measure towards the end of the lap.
So here it looks like Ben Smith's pulling away comfortably from Liam.
Now again, we spoke about Jay's here. Does he just cover Super Calgon? Or does he have to really go for a race win?
I think he'll cover, definitely.
So he's going to be quite content there in a P3 with Super Calgon behind him and Ben in P1.
It all goes down to, as well, the feature race.
So, lap 9 out of 14, we have Ben comfortably leading here, pulling away from Liam. 4.6 seconds gap now, but Jay's sticking with him through sector 1 this time. Super Calgon, I think, may have had a track limits warning on that corner there, but he's closer this sector 1 than he was last sector 1. And obviously, he's quicker through sector 2 and 3, so Jay's probably feeling confident that he can do Liam here.
Especially with this track slowly getting drier with them inters kicking all this water out the way.
But as we say, you know, Jay's Lando and Super Calgon are pulling up to the back of Jay's. That train that Lando's pulling is it's becoming a bit of a 6-horse train now, isn't it? Behind Liam, because Jay's has definitely got more speed here. He's got more speed. Yeah. Definitely got more speed. Polly up to P9 now, so he is making a bit of a recovery after that drive-through penalty.
On Butler, though, that's the problem.
But again, if Jays can't get past Liam, it suddenly brings everyone closer to him, and all it takes in these wet conditions, someone a bit offline, loses a back wheel on a curb, and it's race over. We have a Haas in Sector 1, that's John is out the race. Hopefully no more safety cars as Ben goes through. He's 5 seconds clear now. He's been dropped a bit by Liam there. Maybe a bit of battery recharge from Jay's, maybe. Or maybe Liam just getting a bit more confidence in these tyres as the track comes to him on those inters.
Oh, it's beautiful by our championship leader through that fast turns. Catching up to Liam. Do you think he can defend against JZ down this straight now?
Again, in these conditions without DRS, the straights aren't as... The slipstream isn't as powerful as it is in some different tracks. It's all about getting traction out of this corner. As we see Lando just going very wide there, which Super Calgon will be on the back of him. He already is on the back of him here. Super Calgon going up the inside here, and again, this is where championships can be won and lost. He's got to make the move to get close to Jay's. He's got to get points on Jay's with only a race left after this, and the feature race, he goes down the inside, and the traction's there. Can he get it? But of course, Lando is going to be on the inside on this one, so Super Calgon forced wide there. He's gone off track, and it's as you were. Or is it? He's back again. Elbows out. This time he's spun it, Super Calgon. He just stays out the barrier. But he's lost positions. Down to PA.
JZ will be happy.
And that's why I said, if you're fighting someone that isn't in the championship battle, they become that car gets a lot wider all of a sudden, and Lando there used all of the track he had to force Super Calgon.
What should I say as well, Elliot, is down that straight, Liam was doing some beautiful defending against JZ, using his ERS, while JZ only has around 40% left, while Liam still has 90. And he's doing exactly what Verstappen was doing with the size in Canada, just building his ERS up and just deploying it to defend.
He's quicker than Jay's in the faster corners, and then, like you say, down those straights, just uses the battery. We're getting time penalties now for those track limits, and they are going to come into play throughout the field, because it is a track that it is easy just to overrun a bit, as we saw Lando on that last lap, which is why Super Calgon was all over the back of him. But now Super Calgon has some work to do to get back into that train battle, make up some positions. He was centimetres away from taking P4 and getting onto the back of his championship rival, but now it is advantage J's in the championship.
We've got Lando Cam as well, catching up to Jay-Z here as well.
Again, Jay-Z's race is being compromised here by Liam, but I think he is thinking, I'd rather stay P3 and not risk a dive bomb or an opportunistic opportunity rather than risk losing front wing when I'm extending my championship lead. And at this stage of the season, you've got to be thinking, they say they're racers at heart, but you've got to be thinking the big picture here now, surely.
Oh, definitely. I see. Liam's deploying his DRS here, pulling away from Jay-Z easily. Calgon.
Super Calgon from bad to worse.
This is really not his race.
So that's a 3-second penalty. Pole is 5 seconds behind him, so at the minute it's still a P8 for Super Calgon.
Even though we haven't talked about one man here, is Ben Smith comfortably 7 seconds ahead the rest of the field.
Lanard with a 3-second, which means Blades would now take that P4 from him, and so would Torre as it stands. So Lanard needs to get his foot down and build up that gap for the cars behind him, but again he's been held up by Jays and this Liam train that has just gifted Ben this sprint race in theory. It'd be interesting to see what Jay's race pace is without being stuck behind the Mercedes here.
So what do you think the feature race will be? Do you think there'll be a dry or wet?
I tend to think it may be dry with this and the qualifying being wet, because it will be a new lobby. So hopefully it will be dry.
Well, we never know. The clouds are different. As our famous driver once said, who is Nikita Mazepin.
So we are saying a 14-lap race after the 8 pit stops that Mill had last week. We have Jenneth with 4 stops in 12 laps.
That's almost as bad as me in Singapore.
You were 7. You were second most. But Ben, coming around here, this is keep it on the grey stuff, and you have won this race. I think his team would be telling him now. But Jay's a lot closer to Liam now. Again, is he going to make a risk here? It's the sprint race. It's not full points.
The thing is, though,
I think he's happy for a P3 here.
Liam here is doing some beautiful defending. He's still got lots of ERS.
He just manages to get better traction out of those corners where they are straight. So the hairpin and the back straight, he just has the measure of Jay-Z here. Jays can be quicker through these corners, but you're not going to overtake in these sections.
Butler has span.
It is Butler there. I was working to see who is the yellow flag, and it is Butler. He's got Calvert coming up on the back of him now. Obviously, Pollade Super Calgon goes through. Calvert is going to DRS enabled. Calvert's gone off track there. He's not got ahead of Butler. Sorry.
He had a little bit of a tap from Butler's wheels.
But this is interesting now, because Jays is going to have a lap and a half of DRS on Liam. DRS enabled.
He's got DRS now. He's got DRS now.
Race on. All of a sudden, this P2 has come alive. Aeon down the inside of Lando. He's got the DRS, and he's ahead of him even before we get to the hairpin. Jay-Z is tucked in there. Liam will not be
happy here. Toto Wolff's probably smashing more headsets as we speak.
The conditions say it's dry enough for DRS. And Jay's now surely thinking, this last lap, does he take the risk in the sprint? Blaze has taken the risk and he's gone up. Calvert is now, and Harry, both ahead of Butler.
Do you think Jay-Z
Super Calgon right up the back of Torre now, but again, got that penalty. So even if he gets past Torre, he's got to build up those 3 seconds. Butler, multiple warnings, track limits there. But Jay's down the back straight now. Start-finish straight, sorry. Last lap of the race. Is he going to send it into turn 1? No. Sensible there, but oh, so close to the back of Liam there. Did well to slam on the brakes in time. And we have Lando going wide at the back there. But Liam now, head down, focus, 1 lap of pretty much dry racing now while they're on these inters. So they've got to try and find some moisture to keep those tyres at the right temperature.
You don't want to overheat these tyres because we all know
Torre with the time penalty. that negates the one that Super Calgon had behind him. So Super Calgon now suddenly wants to get past Torre.
I think
Blaze has gone right at the back of these as well.
Harry, just give it one for Ben here. He is now 10 seconds ahead of the field.
But look at this train now. Blaze got great traction out of that corner. And Jay's with the DRS open. But he's not close enough to Liam here, I don't think. Liam defending really well. He's going to go down the inside. He's going to send Jay-Z around the outside. He's going to go for it. He's having a look. He's going to break later here. Jay-Z around the outside. He's got to defend for Blades though, which means it's going to be the inside corner for him. But Liam covers off really well again.
That was beautiful. Brilliant. Absolute brilliant defending there by Liam.
I think that might be the chance gone for Jays. Super Cal gone on Torre. He's dropped right off, so I think maybe he went deep trying to send it there. But let's not discount the winner here. Ben Smith round the final bend and wins the sprint. A very comfortable. I don't think he'll have an easier race win on line races here. But Liam and Jays has gone wide there. No penalty given. And it is a P2 for Liam.
Let's just watch what happens with all these penalties, see what happens.
I don't think it's going to affect many times in the top 10, looking at the gaps.
Definitely not.
But Liam did that. He had front wing damage, so he thought, I'll take a gamble on the Inters.
Harry Mill and Calvert just had a little bit of a coming together right there. But through Harry having time penalties, has dropped him down to 11th. It's dropped him even lower. He's down to 12th now. But luckily for him, SLH is too far back to make a difference.
So, Liam, that gamble onto the Inters, then with a safety car a lap later,
that pulled
working an absolute treat, and then defended for his life for those last few laps there, especially when the DRS got enabled. But Ben Smith takes the sprint win, and we are going to flip the grid.
I don't think the McLaren boys are going to be happy with this new reserve driver that they have, because as soon as he crossed the line, he smashed it into the fence.
But he's going to take pole position for the next race.
Yeah.
So here we're going to have a very interesting reverse grid here. We're going to have some decent pace people are quite up the field here. Butler's going to be P5. Harry's going to be P3. These are, confident racers, especially if it's a dry race next.
Let's just have a look at the pit stops, see what all happened. It doesn't give you a full list. Surprising. I think we should try get at least Liam into this. Oh yeah. I bet not. I don't think I have Ben on PlayStation. I don't know if you do. I've invited Liam.
I've got Ben as well.
As we just wait here for all the head admins reversing the grid. Now, if you were the championship, Harry, are you there?
Mm-hmm.
If you were the championship leader right now, Jay-Z, what would your thoughts be going into this race?
Avoid damage in turn 1 and just it is hard to race when you've got an objective in mind, but my initial thought would be try and get as close to Super Calgon as possible.
Yeah,
you're almost racing him now rather than racing the grid.
I've just noticed something as well. We're short a driver. that new driver, don't know what team he was, but he's not there.
We lost the Haas. We have lost John Holmes, yes.
Yeah. As Helix has just said here, send it. So we have 28 laps of the Grand Prix. JZ, would you like to join into our box while you wait? Are you still there?
Me?
Harry? Yeah.
Yes.
I've just thought I've had a little bit of a guest start to try to talk to before this starts. I've invited Helix, one of the owners of Indigo.
Former owners, I think you found out.
Oh, is he former?
A change of allegiance now, joining Red Arrows Racing. I think for the next season he will be coming across to Red Arrows.
Oh, nice. I don't know if you have Jay-Z on PlayStation, but I don't.
I do. Let me.
Alex, are you gonna?
He was a bit reluctant last week to give away his race tactics. So we'll see what he comes up with this week. See if he lets us have a bit more of an insight.
And here is our championship leader, Jesse. How are you doing?
Evening, guys. Not so bad. I'll take that result. Boost the lead a little bit.
Now, with so little left of the championship, does your mindset change now to where's Super Cal gone rather than where am I in the field?
In that race, I was keeping an eye on it. I think I had a little bit of pace on Liam, but the way the sprints worked out, with how it's done, points per finishes, there's I think 17 points on the table, right in saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at it, I was thinking, well, if I go for him and I mess this up, then I'm going to drop a good 10, 12 points. Or if I sit behind him, I'll cost myself maybe a point. So I thought risk reward, it's not worth it. So I just sat behind him and took the P3, because I think it's better for my championship if I just do that.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, that's what we thought. We thought in commentary it's nice to know we were right there. And obviously Super Calgon tried to make those moves and ended up dropping down the field because of him.
I did see him drop, I didn't see what happened to him. Like I said, I don't sure if we would have got him. I think with Liam I had maybe a 10th a lap. I'm not sure I had enough to pull the overtake, but it wasn't worth going for it.
We finally had our new guy, John Holmes, come back after leaving.
Yeah, I think there was something said in our chat, because Chrissy said something about being able to make the race but not the sprint quality, so I think he's potentially starting further back.
Who's this, sorry?
Chrissy's got the full-time seat in the Haas.
Yeah.
I think there was something said about him being able to make the race but not the sprint, so I think they might have had to switch where John was.
Yeah, Chrissy's in the Haas now. And John has taken up the Red Bull. So thoughts here, starting near the back now? Is it just avoid damage, lap one and see what happens?
Just try to stay out of trouble, score as many points as I can.
And here is the owner of the league.
Hoping for a dry race as well, I suspect.
I think I prefer the dry, but to be honest, just bag as many points as you can and I think at the moment the pressure is on the chasing pack and not on me because the way it's set up at the moment, I'm 17 points ahead, which means regardless of what happens now, I'm still in this race next week.
Jay, you've got a little bit of fans in the comment. We had a comment from Alex going, Jay, send it.
I think I might be a bit restricted this week, I'm not sure. I think the pressure's on the chasing pack because no matter what happens to me tonight, I'm still in the title race for next week.
Agreed. No, very focused, very level-headed there, which wins championships.
Absolutely.
I see you've got
thank you for joining
Liam
us.
waiting, so I'll let you...
thank you for joining us. Good luck in the
guy.
feature race. Yep.
Thank you,
for
guys.
joining us. Good luck.
Speak to you soon.
And we have our very own fortune teller, Liam.
Hello.
What made you switch to the Inters? Just a gamble because you need to change the front wing?
No, not all. Didn't change the front wheel at all. Just a tyre change. Everyone needed to change tyres. I felt like it was. Everyone was talking about the changeover to Inters and wets. Jeff wasn't too sure what was happening. 1 minute it was the changeover was on, then it wasn't. I just thought I'd roll the dice a bit.
Take the gamble, which worked off.
The perfect safety car timing for you.
Yeah, there was that tiny bit of an incident, obviously, with Jay coming out of the pits. I don't know if you saw it when Jay was coming out of the pits.
We did. It looked like it should have been his corner.
Well, this is racing, Harry. I'm afraid.
That's the
The game tells you what to do, so yeah.
Apart from that, I felt like it was a good race. The rain certainly changed a few things up. I know a few people were running dry setups, me included. A couple of people didn't get setups on, etc. So it was quite pandemonium down in the grid.
How are you feeling for the feature race now then? Obviously, starting near the back.
Yeah, well, optimistic as ever. You know me. I like a good send it on lap one. I like to gain a few places. So we'll see how that pans out.
Hoping for dry.
I'm easy. I'm easy. I don't have a wet setup. I can tell you that. So if it's wet, I'll roll with it. But dry is obviously. I think everyone's praying for the dry.
So, Liam, as the owner of the league, do you know how long until we get lights out for the feature race?
It will be when, assuming that you haven't invited anyone to the party, it will be once I have left and rejoined, obviously, and given Ben the go-ahead. So it will be very shortly, obviously, once you've done with me. Which is
yeah. Have you got any more questions, Harry?
No, let him go and set up the grid and let's get racing.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. Cheers, guys. Have fun.
Thanks for joining us. Take care. Bye-bye. Right. I'm just going to take a quick break as well, Hug, so do your thing.
Oh, happily. I'll give him my magic touch. So guys, while we just wait for them to finish off reversing the grid and making sure all the drivers are here and present. Just recapping back on last race, which was Singapore. Also, we had that massive incident in lap 1 where we had quite a few drivers DNF, and throughout the whole race towards the end as well, where the last lap can absolutely mess up from quite a few people bending into the wall. Don't know if a few of you were there who race here, but yeah, Singapore, absolute horrible track. What I think personally.
Right, I'm back.
I think we're just about to get underway now as well.
A few people readying up.
think
Ben's ready up, so that's a good sign.
Jesse, what's your PSN so we can keep an eye on you?
Jay's, it's JZ2102.
Oh, right.
So here we go. Obviously, no qualifying here because we have the reverse grid. 28 laps, around the 20 turns of the circuits of the Americans. Concerns here are the front of the grid here were considerably slower, so hopefully no front wing damage to turn one, because you've got to be so cautious when you notice a slower car in front of you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And especially if all them front wing parts go missing, don't come knocking at my door, please.
And again, the biggest thing is getting off the line. We saw a few people struggling to get off the line, especially with it being wet. We're looking hopefully for a dry race this time, but when it's wet, that traction off the start, it takes a bit of while to get the traction. If you go full throttle, you're sideways before you know it. So here we go. What is the weather going to be like? It is a dry race. So that'll be a sigh of relief for a lot of the racers from that first sprint.
Just that you know, I might disappear towards the end, or soon, and I might end up coming back. I've just got something to sort out, that's all.
Okay.
It won't be for too long, though. I'll be like...
So you just have to leave the camera on the leader and hope they don't DNF. So, is this going to be a formation lap this time? It is. So interesting here. Jenneth down in 14th. For me, I thought Jenneth should have been on pole. But regards to that, the league has been set. So, in terms of championship, Casper's obviously made contact with someone there in the formation lap, so he'll be sat on the start line with those cold tyres. SLH leading down the back straight now. Harry in second, Pinto third, Butler fourth. In terms of championship, you've got Supercargo starting P7, Jay's starting P11, and Ben, our sprint winner, starting P13. Obviously, Holmes, Casper, Jacko, and Chrissy. Chrissy didn't do the sprint, he's joined us late. But Jacko, Casper, and Holmes starting at the back because they failed to finish the sprint. So we'll see as they warm up the tyres here.
Right, I'll be right back in a
get ready
sec.
for the start of the race. Now, the leading pack here really shot away. They're out of sync here. So we've got a Mercedes that's leading the front of the pick here, SLH, and then Harry is in P2, and then we've got Pinto who's just coming around the back straight now. They're all out of position here. They're all going to get in the proper grid, so a bit of a mess to start here. Hopefully they get around the first three corners nice and clean.
reverse grid throws up some interesting combinations, shall we say. So, everyone take their position now. And we are into race mode. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's lights out and away we go here. SLH gets away well, but Harry's at the inside. Harry's going to be pole before the first corner here. We look Polly third of back there. He's going to make a dive, and that's Liam. There's a massive dive inside. McLaren goes wide. Jay-Z avoiding damage at the back there. It looks. Ben Smith up to P10 here. Super Calgon up to P7. Whoa! And a massive cross there with Lando. He is gone.
A massive crash there. Is that going to be a safety car? Just yellow flags at the moment. Harry in P1 at the minute. Butler on those softs in P2. The mediums in P2 here. Just see what's happening further down here. Ben in P10. Coming up to the back of Chrissy. And at the back there we see another car go off. That's the Haas of Casper. Rejoins a wild start there as we see lots of cars weaving here trying to break the toe down the back straight, and Polly defends from Calvert here. Butler getting comfortable in P2 there. Harry on those softs flying away. Butler on the mediums. Let's have a look at what the gaps are going to be for us here. We go on the tyres. So we've got Butler and Jays on the mediums. Everyone else on the softs. Sorry, Casper on the mediums as well. So we've managed to get through a full lap of racing, which was different to the sprint. Harry very wide on the last corner there, but he sets the fastest lap on the start here. Butler in P2, Polly P3, Calvert P4, SLH losing out from pole. He's P5 now. Liam up to P6 from near the back of the grid. Torre P7, Chrissy up this inside of Torre there, makes it stick. He's up to P7, Pinto P9, Blades P10, JZ 11, Super Calgon dropped right down now to P12. Not sure what happened there, missed that one. And Ben Smith in the pits already, switching on to those mediums as the usual front wing club on lap 1 takes place. Super Calgon ahead of Jay-Z now. I'm guessing Jays isn't going to battle too hard there with the championship as long as he can keep him in his sights. Going very wide there, Jays, though. Pretty sure he may have got track limits warning there. But Super Calgon needs to get his head down here and get some places on Jays if he's going to got any chance of catching him in this remaining championship races. We see Calvert going down the inside. Sorry, the outside of SLH. He's ahead before the corner and makes it stick round there. Let's see where the racing is taking place here. We've got SLH all over the back of Calvert now. Going through those hairpins, tick for tack. Calvert's got the inside here, and Liam just watching these two from back. Oh, Torre with track limits already. And Super Calgon. Again, Jay's on those mediums compared to Super Calgon on those softs. But he's definitely dropping Jay's at the minute. As Harry comes through to start another lap, we have SLH and Calvert do sit for tap again. It's Calvert going to say Liam's looking down the inside of both of them here. Is Liam going to get ahead of the lot? He is. Liam at the inside, double overtake from Liam there. DRS enabled now as well. And we're going to have contact here. SLH and Calvert and SLH make contact. Chrissy Benefits coming through the middle of him there. There just wasn't the room for the pair of them there. And Chrissy comes out of that, the benefactor. Calvert and Chrissy, neither of them are yielding there. And that gave Liam, who'd already made the move stick, some clean air in P4 there. And he gets to start the hunt down of Polly in P3. Fantastic race after a successful P2 in the sprint. Liam, let's see how many positions he has gained here already. It's he's up 8 positions, and Chrissy up 13 positions behind him as well. Chrissy around the outside of him here. He's going to get it because he's going to have the inside on the next hairpin. Chrissy showing fantastic pace here. He's already got the fastest lap. He's 14 positions up now because he moves into P4. Butler up into P3 as Polly moves, down to P3. Polly overtakes him there. We have a yellow flag. Who's that? That's SLH that has been spun or has spun it. Lots of penalties going on here. Excuse me. But Chrissy, currently the fastest man on the track, but he's got Liam in that DRS right behind him now down the start-finish straight. Is Liam going to send one up the inside here? No. Chrissy goes defensive down the inside. And SLH is out of the race and a full safety car. Now, trying to look who that might benefit. There's a few that are only just coming up to the pits. So do they do a tactical pit change here? Ben is switched to the mediums already. But Jay's had already pitted as well. So we get to breathe for a bit now. But this plays into people like Butler's hands on those medium tyres. If they Ben and Jay's on fresh mediums now. And we made it 3 laps without a safety car, but SLH, our first retiree of the feature race, and he is out, unfortunately. And the safety car is working overtime today. Okay, apologies for those that are joining us now and are seeing that their camera is stuck on one driver, that our lead commentator for tonight, Hugs, is currently away from his computer, so we can't flick through drivers. So who are we having here? Polly in the pits, Chrissy in the pits, Liam in the pits. So that's going to let some of these soft runners. Jennifer with a penalty. Such an unnecessary one, speeding under the safety car. It's going to let you all catch up. And John Holmes as well. These debut people not having the best debut with us here. So Harry leads, but he is on them softs, like we said. Butler on those mediums. And we're going to have a lot of people now on fresh mediums. Polly, Chrissy, Liam, all on fresh mediums. Jay's on fresh mediums. Ben on fresh mediums. Super Calgon stayed out. He's up to P5 now, but he is on those soft tyres. Don't think mediums can go to the end here, so I think everyone that has pitted on the safety car will have to pit again. But those soft tyres are going to start to go off in the next few laps. Obviously, those fresh mediums will last a bit longer. Let's have a look here. So, the biggest gainers from the start of the minute, we've got Chrissy up at 11 places. Liam had made great progress, but with those pit stops dropped back down. But he is up 4 places from his start. Biggest loser at the minute is Lanard. He is down 8 places from his starting position. Expect the safety car to stay out another lap just so it lets everyone catch up, and then hopefully at the end of lap 6 we will go racing again. Pinto into the pits. Now, he's obviously going to change off those soft tyres. Thinking, probably should have gone a bit earlier. Hopefully he'll have enough time to get round and catch up to the back of the field. But, of course, it's going to drop him right down to the back of the field. Lanard's coming in again. For a fresh set of mediums. Strange decision there. Coming out right behind Pinto, and hopefully Pinto wants fresh softs. Interesting. So he's going to go soft medium here. Hopefully those fresh softs will help him slice through the field. Torre's on fresh softs as well, as is Blades. Again, we have a very mixed field here of used, new, softs, mediums. We have new softs, we have new mediums, we have old softs and old mediums as well. It's a very mixed field here. We're going to have a lot, and of course with the reverse grid, we already have different paces all over the place. Harry out front, setting off great pace there at the start. Butler as well on those mediums, doing a very good job. But yeah, they've completely caught up to the back of the field already, so it will be this lap that the safety car comes in, and we will go racing again. And see whose gamble, whose strategy is paid off the best so far. Again, sorry for those that can't see. Multiple cars. I don't know which car that Hugs has left it on, but I tried to do my best to give you the visuals through my words on what we can't see. Safety car is in this lap. So, as you can see, Harry backing up, and this is where it's so easy to damage the front wing going into the back of a slower car in front. Because obviously the field gets slower right down now. People trying to keep some temperature in their tyres. Super Cal gone up to fourth now, but is on those old softs. Calvert in front of him does have the penalty as well. He has that 3-second penalty. Jennifer has a drive-through penalty to serve, which you can't serve under safety car. So safety car coming around the final corner now. Harry 2 corners back, just backing up the field. And I'm guessing he will send it to his last corner, get the wheels in line, foot down. Butler very close, watching that though. Safety car is in, so he can go through the finish line now. Butler right on the back of him there. He saw him. Didn't get as good an exit he did though. So Butler is all over the back of Harry already going into turn 1 here. I think he's just about got it covered there though. Super Calgon up the inside of Calvert. He decides better of it, and that brings Polly into place behind him. Everyone hopefully round the first corner comfortably. It looks like it. Nope, we have John Holmes in the barrier with that Red Bull. And Pinto as well. So nearly clean through, but we've got Harry leading from Butler. Calvert P3. Super Calgon all over the back of him though. He's thinking championship here. He's got to have high risk, high reward here. He went for that in the sprint race, and it cost him 4 more positions, but he needs to make headway here because on those soft tyres he's going to have to pit soon. He's thinking race win. It has to be here. Calvert goes offensive. Super Calgon though right in the slipstream of him. Calgon is going to be sent round the outside, I think here. Calvert defending the inside. Super Calgon is ahead of him going into the corner here, which means he's going to have the inside on the next hairpin. He's comfortably ahead here. And Polly's going to have a sniff as well. But Chrissy into the back of him there. There was contact there, and out the inside. Definitely contact that time. They both got away with it, though. Hopefully no damage. Polly all over the back of Calvert now. Super Calgon has put his foot down. He's gone. He's closing onto the back of Butler ASAP because he knows he has to win this race if he's got any hope of winning the championship, with Jay's currently down in P13 out of the points. So, Harry across the start line. Butler only half a second down there, and Super Calgon only half a second behind him. Ben Smith up into P8 now, obviously winner of the sprint race. And Jays is coming through here. He's gone ahead of Lando. Chrissy is going to have to go into the pit, so he's serving his time penalty. And did he damage the front wing there as well? Possibly. We have the McLarens. We have a Red Bull. John Holmes is DNF'd there. Luckily, it's in the pits though, so that shouldn't be a safety car. And it's as you were. Super Calgon over the back of Butler on those softs. DRS not enabled this lap, so he won't have the DRS down the back straight here, but he's going to definitely have some slipstream. But no, Butler defending very well there. We have a McLaren off in Sector 1. Jenneth having a bit of a nightmare race there. We've got a Red Bull driving there. That's interesting because it says on mine that the Red Bull is DNF'd. but it still seems to be going very slowly around the track. Interesting there. We'll keep an eye on that. But we'll get back to the racing. Is Liam all over the back of Calvert here, going round the outside of the hairpin. Those fresh mediums against old softs coming in clutch here. As Liam, he goes very wide there, Calvert. That's got to be track limits, surely. DRS is enabled now. Liam, great traction off that back corner here. Gets in a bit of slipstream, sends it. He's going to go up the inside. I think Liam's got this comfortably on Calvert. Breaks down the inside, and Liam up into P6 comfortably. And Ben Smith follows him through as well. Calvert losing out a lot there. So DRS enabled now. So Super Calgon, does he make his move now? Jay's up into P11. And has Casper just ahead of him on those old softs in his sights. Super Calgon, quick bit wide there. It's not going to help, but he's closing in half a second here. Let's go to the hairpin, and that DRS zone is going to become. But Butler is going to have DRS as well on Harry. Aeon over the back of Polly. Did Polly just get DRS? He didn't. So Blades up the back of Polly here. He's going to. Polly goes defensive on the inside. Aeon goes around the outside. Doesn't make it stick there. Tries to cut back. But of course, that's going to send him around the outside of the next hairpin as well. But he does it there on those softs. Those fresh softs coming in clutch. Again, better grip. Actually, Polly went wide there. I think Polly went off and just coming back on the track very dangerously there by Polly. Jacko's through now as well. And this is where Jay's got to be careful now. He's got 4 cars all over the track in front of him. Can't risk damage. Whoa, Polly's gone there. He's managed to save it. Lucky not to DNF there. It's a virtual safety car. Jacko had a bit of a moment there as well, I believe. And a bit of a nightmare few corners there from 4th to 11th for Polly. Ben, who's in the pits? Calvert in the pits, Casper, and Jay's in the pits. Now, is Jay's doing this tactically under virtual safety car, or did he get damage in that mix-up there with all those different cars? Let's see. We're just going to stay on track with him here. Jacko speeding in the pit lane. It is a front wing. Jay's did get caught up in that with Polly. He's going on to fresh softs. Of course, he's not used softs in this race yet, but I don't think softs can get into the end, so whether he's just going to be a few fast laps here, hope for a safety car or something to get some other fresh tyres on to the end of this race. But virtual safety car, so it's all neutralised at present. And we are back racing. DRS is enabled. Perfect for Super Calgon there because he's got the DRS straight away there. But Blades with an even better start. And Blades all over the back of Super Calgon here. He's going to send him down the outside, but no, Super Calgon makes that car nice and wide. So, Butler P2. Super Calgon 3, Blades 4, and then a bit of a gap back to Liam, who's got Ben Smith all over the back of him. But Super Calgon, those soft tyres, and Harry, 9-lap-old soft tyres now. Super Calgon is ahead of Butler. Butler had a bit of a moment going wide there. Super Calgon says thank you very much and gets right on. Oh, and then track limits. Finally gets to P2 and then has that 3-second penalty. And he is going to get the DRS on Harry Mill. Harry Mill's not going to defend from him and lets him through there. Team orders there, perhaps, possibly. Harry letting Super Calgon take the lead of this race. And again, Super Calgon leading now. Jay-Z currently out of the points. This could be a massive momentum shift in the championship. Jay-Z said, no matter what, I'm leading going into Austria after that P3 in the sprint race, which is true. But a 25-point all here from Super Calgon. A long way to go, obviously, still 17 laps. But if he is to finish P1 and Jay-Z doesn't get any points, it's suddenly an interesting last race in Austria. But Super Calgon 10 laps on those softs, so he is going to have to pit very shortly. Blades up the inside of Butler as well. Those mediums suddenly starting to seem a bit slow against those fresher soft tyres. Now Blade's closing into the back of Harry. Supercar not really been able to drop Harry. Even though he flew past him, and Blades is all in up. Blades has got fantastic pace at this stage of the race on those fresher soft tyres. And Harry into the pits. So those soft tyres did him for 11 laps. Supercar gone, and Harry. So Supercar the only one not to pit on the softs so far. Butler obviously not pitted either, but starting on those medium tyres. He's running P3 at the minute. So let's see where Harry comes back out. If he gets some clean air here, he could be looking at a possible undercut on those front three. He's come out behind Chrissy on those mediums. Can he keep Calvert behind him? He can. So he's 2.5 seconds behind Chrissy. So a bit of clean air. And Harry with a time penalty as well. So Supercar leads half a second from Blades, who seems to have the fastest pace of any races at the minute. And against Supercar here, he has to defend because he needs this win. He needs this win. If he's going to have any chance on winning this championship, he needs this win, especially with Jay's currently running out of the points and Ben Smith in P4. But again, Supercar he's going to have to pit shortly. Surely he's going to have to pit and then take those medium tyres to the end. But Blades, 5 laps, younger tyres. It's showing now he's got tremendous pace compared to the rest of the field. They've dropped Butler a bit now, which will give Supercar a bit of breathing space. But if he sees where Harry's come out in P10 at the minute, and he is pitting, just as Butler gets a time penalty, Aon takes the lead of this race as Supercar comes into the pits here to go onto those medium tyres that he's going to try and take to the end of the race. It shows you can get pace in it. Butler's on 12 lap old tyres on the mediums, so 16 laps is doable. Just trying to keep an eye on, is Harry going to get the undercut on him here? There goes Chrissy. And no, Supercar comfortably ahead of his teammate. Liam with the 3-second penalty. So, Chrissy and Casper now, can Calgon get ahead of these? More interesting though now, he is on the same amount of pit stops as Jays. I think Jays has to stop again. Looking at those softs are not going to last another 15 laps. Oh, Supercar with another penalty. Can't afford things like this at this stage of the championship. Is that 6? It is 6 seconds now. These sort of things may cost him when it gets to the end of this race, but he is closing up on the back of Chrissy nice and quick here, but he is going to have to clear these cars very quick. Again, Jay's in P12. Not sure what his strategy is going to be from here. Possibly hoping for another safety car is the only thing I can think to try and bring him back into play, get a fresh set of mediums or softs on if there's a safety car, and then close that pack up and use his natural pace to get through. So at the minute, he's not really making headway. Just kind of sat behind Calvert, 2.5 seconds behind him, where Super Calgon was leading the race. Now down in P9, but does have to make something happen. Liam, close to the back of Ben Smith, who are both on those medium tyres. Looking at people now who could possibly take these tyres at the end, you are looking at probably Harry and Super Calgon are the ones that may not have to pit again. The rest, I'd be very surprised if they don't have to pit again. So we're on board with Ben running P3 after winning the sprint race, but Liam is going to have that DRS open down the back straight. Mercedes against the Alpha here. Ben's going to send him to the outside. Here's Liam going to send it round the outside though, and later on the brakes he gets ahead of him. And of course this means he's going to have the inside here. Then neck and neck going into the second hairpin. And Liam makes it stick and manages to cut off Ben. As Ben would have had the inside there, but Liam covers it very well. Nice driving by both drivers, and Liam up into P3. 2.5 seconds ahead of him is Butler on those old mediums, the only person not to pit yet in this race. Aon, fantastic pace up front. He is 2.5 seconds and extending that lead. But again, he is on the soft tyres. 9 lap old now. Ben trying to come back at Liam now down. They start finish straight. But DRS just cruise up to the back of him. Nothing silly. Try and keep it around that time through those opening sectors. And then on that back DRS straight, try and get the revenge to what Liam did to him last lap. Lots of penalties going on now with track limits. Casper, the latest one to be penalised. Harry as well penalised. It's so easy to exceed the track limits on this track, and of course, you do it 3 times, that's 3 seconds. You do it another 3, it's a further 3 seconds. So, just over halfway through this race, you could quite easily see people getting 6 to 9 second penalties here, looking at how we are at the minute. But back on board with Liam, defending from Ben down at DRS. Defends it very well. Better traction out of the first hairpin as well. So I think Liam's got this lap covered. Gonna try and put his foot down and get ahead. Get that 1 second gap to break the DRS of Ben. He's 3 or 4 tenths away from doing that at present. But good race pace. But Butler being dropped by Blades, who pits. Right on cue there, Blades pits now. So here we go into the mediums till the end, I assume. Oh, and speeding in the pit again. Unnecessary penalties by these guys. But Butler takes over the lead of this race. The only person not to pit yet. And he's got a very good chance here because he obviously will be switching to those soft tyres. And he will be showing some tremendous pace towards the end of this race as Aon drops behind Super Calgon now on those fresh mediums. So Super Calgon up to P8. Jay's still down in P12. We see Polly and Chrissy neck and neck. And Polly makes that. We have a yellow flag. Liam cannot break the DRS of Ben, so Ben's going to come back at him again here. But Ben completely emptying that battery, trying to use all the overtake. He's going to go. No, thought better of it. Had a look down the inside, trying to get Liam out of shape, possibly by giving them the Will You Only, but no, quite sensible there. So, where are we now? Chrissy going very wide there. Polly and Super Calgon come through. Super Calgon ahead of Polly as well now. So Super Calgon on those fresh mediums. He's thinking race win here because he's shown that he's already ahead of Blades. So he's undercut him. And he's thinking everyone ahead of him should have to pit again. But when does Butler pit? That's the question. Because he's going to go on to fresh softs. And Super Calgon will be on those old mediums by the end of this race. We have a yellow flag in sector 3, as we saw. I think that's Pinto going very well. No, it's Jennifer going very wide. I think letting some cars through there with the blue flags. And that's why the yellow flag came out there. So back on board with Ben and Liam. So great racing by these two here, matching each other sector by sector. Liam cannot break. And Butler and Chrissy both with time penalties. Let's see where that puts them. So Butler now with 6 second time penalties. So Liam technically on track, ahead of him now. And Lannard with no penalties is suddenly only a few seconds away from leading this race. If he keeps it clean, he could just naturally progress just from benefiting from no penalties. But what we have now is Liam sending Ben down the outside. But Liam has got into the DRS zone of Butler. Those tyres really starting to drop off for Butler now. And Liam and Ben have sucked him into their little battle here. So if I was Butler, I think Butler will be pitting here. Oh, and loses the back end there. Definitely. I think that will have made his mind up there. No point in pushing hard here when you know you're going to have to pit. 10 laps on those softs is more than doable, rather than risk losing the back end completely. And I think Butler is diving into the pits, yes. Sensible from Butler there. He's done a great first stint there. And let's see where he comes back out, because he will be on fresh softs, and we're expecting him with his pace to be one of the fastest men on the track. But looking for Liam now, got the DRS from Butler diving into the pits. So Ben can't make a move there. Where is Butler going to come back out? Super Cow gone easily through. I think Harry's gone through as well. Polly's into the pits. Where's Butler going to come back out? He's going to come out behind. Let's see. Nearly collision there. He's come out right next to Calvert. And Jays is just behind him as well. So Jays still out of the points here. But Calvert, oof. Nearly a moment there. Butler getting his elbows out on the exit there. And that's going to let Jays jump ahead of Calvert as well. So Jays into the points now. So we're looking up the field now. Super Cow gone. What is he? He's 10 seconds off the lead. He's got to be thinking the front two have got to pit soon. Butler was on 17 lap old softs. The Super Calgon is going to have a look down the inside of Casper. Gets the job done nice and easy there. Those 7 lap old softs starting to drop off a bit now as well. Super Calgon up to P4. Jay's in P10. Ben in P2. Very interesting picture developing in the championship here. Liam cannot drop Ben though. Only 3/10 separating them now. They've dropped Lanod quite a bit. He's 4 seconds further back. Super Calgon now 8 seconds behind Lanod. Be interesting to see how much quicker he is. But again, those 6 seconds of penalties are probably going to come back and haunt him here, because Lanod, no penalties compared to every other driver except Polly. So at the minute, Lanod is half a second behind Ben. In theory, well, not going wide like that, he's not going to be. That's not going to help him. And Super Calgon closing that gap right up now. It's nearly 3.5 seconds. So Lanod maybe going a bit too hard on his tyres and maybe just starting to feel a bit of wear compared to Super Calgon on those fairly fresh mediums. Still only 5 laps old. Of course, we expect him to be going to the end on them. And just looking further back now, Butler P8, Chrissy P9, Jay's down to P11. He's gone on to another set of fresh softs like we expected him to. So he'll be now one of the quickest men on track, trying to get some points just to put onto the board after that P3. And Ben Smith does pit now. And I think Jay's just hoping Super Calgon doesn't get this win. And just trying to get as many points as possible from where he is now. The traverse grid really costing Jays, getting caught up with that front wing damage. And yeah, strategy starting on the mediums, then going mediums again, then going softs when he had to change. And obviously softs weren't going to last till the end. Butler with a new fastest lap. He goes ahead of Ben. That's interesting. The undercut working for Butler there. Comfortably ahead of Ben. But Ben Smith comes back in P7. So we're starting to see these fresh softs now and see just how much they can gain on these older mediums in front of them that will be going to the end. I say Liam and Lanod I do expect to pit, and Lanod is losing these tyres massively. Super Calgon only 2.5 seconds behind him now, gaining every single lap, and it's not going to be long till he's in striking distance of Lanod, who I suspect will be coming into fresh softs either this or the next lap. The way he keeps losing that back end traction, completely gone when he puts that foot down. But Blade's not really got the blistering pace he had on those softs on the mediums. He's running respectable P4 though. And Harry P5, but again, Butler on those fresh softs, only a second and a half back on him, and Ben Smith just behind him as well. Then a bit of a gap, as we see lots of different people doing different strategies, but I'm just looking there. There was someone setting purple sectors. It's disappeared off my radar though. As Liam comes through, 4.5 or 4.8 seconds ahead of Lannard, who's only 2 seconds ahead of Super Calgon now. But Butler only a second behind Harry, so he's going to get DRS at the back straight. But Ben Smith in that DRS range, and it's Christie that's setting fastest laps behind these two. He is 6 seconds behind these, but keep up that pace. He was setting extremely quick pace early on before getting caught up in a bit of shenanigans that cost him due to extra pit stops, etc. But he was showing extremely good pace early on in this race. But a very interesting setup here for the final 7 laps. Different strategies, different tyre wear. Part of me, Liam cannot be thinking, surely he's not going to go 22 laps on these mediums. But he is 4.5 seconds ahead of anyone else. So he's thinking, I'll lose half a second a lap. I'm still winning. But Lando doesn't have any penalties. That is going to be a big thing here. Super Calgon with 6 seconds, Blades with 8, Harry with 9, Butler with 6, Ben only with 3 comes into play, Liam only with 3 though, so Lando is 2.5 behind him at present. It's going to be very interesting strategy. No, Liam does pit, so Liam into the pits. He's going to do a extremely quick sprint on these soft tyres. Lannard staying out. And this is interesting because again, with those penalties behind him, he's only 1.2 seconds ahead of Calgon. But he's in theory 7.5 seconds ahead with those penalties. We have a yellow flag in sector 3. Safety car. Now, this changes everything. Who is it? Is it Torres? No, Butler's gone. Butler out of the race. Just trying to see on someone else's camera where I can see what's happened here. Has he put it in the pit wall? Trying to see if on Calvert. The car has been moved, so Polly on fresh soft. So now this works against Lannard's got a pit, surely. Again, he got caught out where he was there. He just passed the first corner when that happened. But Ben massively comes into play now. Liam comes into play. And your front 3 all of a sudden on those not so fresh mediums, surely takes a gamble and try and pit and get some form of track position still. Because they have a bit of a gap down to sort of, I'd say Harry. So if you do get in fairly quick, depending on the delta, you may be able to get in a P7. We'll see. Otherwise, I feel they will be sitting ducks on this restart. If you just join us now, perfect time to join us as this safety car is going to basically give us a end of the race sprint. Lannard is into the pits. Super Calgon is into the pits. Blades comes into the pits. So, where is Ben? Ben is going to take the lead of this race. The winner of the sprint race is going to take the lead in the feature race as well, from the back of the grid to the front on those fresh softs. Liam is going to get P2 as well. And then we've got the Hassies. Chrissy has shown tremendous pace, so don't count him out there now. And Casper just behind him. Harry, I think, as suspected, I think this is where Super Calgon's going to filter in. Oh, very, very tight on the exit there. Hopefully no one got any damage there. Silly damage that it does throw you back out into the track. But I think everyone got away with it. But the Hassies have been split up now. So Lannard gets out in P3. Of course, the only one of these top runners without penalties. So he's, in theory, going to have, although he's going to be running P3, he's technically going to be about 2 seconds ahead of Ben on track. Chrissy with 9 seconds is going to be massively disadvantaged there. And yeah, Polly suddenly comes into it as well, because everyone ahead of him has penalties apart from Lannard. And he's on those fresh mediums. Jay's up into P9. He's got Harry ahead of him with 9 seconds. Casper, Super Calgon, and Chrissy all with bigger penalties than him as well. So stick with us, because this could be very interesting. The end of the race might not be the end of the race here. There might be a lot of position changes as people pass this checkered flag. Because I think this safety car is going to stay out for another lap. So I think we're going to have a 4-lap sprint here. And everyone now, apart from Pinto, on fresh softs. The oldest softs, only 3 laps old. So everyone is going to have optimum tyres here, and it is literally going to be a 4-lap sprint. So safety car not in this lap, so we suspect it's going to be the end of lap 24, and then it is going to be a 4-lap sprint to finish this thrilling USA Grand Prix at the circuit of the Americans. Ben, who won the sprint race, was P3 in the championship coming into this, is making a big last-ditch attempt to try and make a play for this championship. Super Calgon down in P5 now, and Jay's currently in P9, so getting some points after that P3 in the sprint race, but again, we'll be looking to try and avoid any damage, but make his way and gain some positions just to minimise the deficit that is going to happen to his championship, it would appear, at this stage going into our final race next week in Austria. This is just going to be a thrilling 4 laps, because you're going to have people like Super Calgon and Ben who are going to get their elbows out because they have to. They need race wins. They need as many points as possible. You have Jay possibly being a bit cautious. Would rather finish the race than lose a front wing and have his race be over. So we're just waiting for Jenneth. Sorry, we're just waiting for Pinto to catch up at the back of this grid. Jenneth's a lap down here. Pinto's got a time penalty trying to catch up there. He's gone to the mediums. He's still at the mediums, I assume. He's just thought, what the hell, not much point at this stage of the race. And what a time for Hugs to rejoin us here. Just as this safety car is going to come in, we're going to have a 4-lap sprint.
I'm sorry, but it's just been stuck on Harry Mill at the minute, the whole time I was away.
Oh, you couldn't have picked a worse person.
I know.
all the action you missed at the front. Again, guys, I've tried to describe what I've seen on my screen as best as possible. Hopefully it's not been too painful.
I do apologise.
Safety car is in this lap.
It's not
So,
bad, though.
4-lap sprint. Ben leads from Liam. Keep an eye on Super Calgon. Obviously, Lanod, with no penalties, is P1 in theory at this stage. Hopefully no front wing damage now for anyone, as everyone slows down, trying to get some temperature into their tyres and not lose track position on that restart.
So not a good race for our championship leader today then.
Well, he was down in P12 for a long time. Got caught up in a bit of shenanigans. Polle had a bit of a mare through 4 or 5 different corners and took Jay's front wing with him as well, unfortunately. So that's where his strategy got ruined, starting on the mediums. He went medium, soft, so it's not been ideal. But we are going racing for 4 laps more. Ben leads him out the last corner, and it is away we go again. And Hugs, my throat is done after that 25 laps, so I'll let you lead him through the first corner here.
Just want to take a bite of a cake. I would say Ben Smith here, getting a good, decent start on Liam here. Blades making a move over start. Casper, that. No, that was Blades and Harry Mill. Send it, and Casper spun. Casper has spun out. Oh dear, that is not good news for Casper, but good news for our championship leader, who brings it up a point. And now Ben Smith still hanging on to lead here. Liam coming up close up behind him. This nice little train all behind, all the way dropping down to, I think that's going all the way down to Jacko, is it? Oh, Jacko makes a nice move, but just goes wide.
Calvert losing out there, 2 positions.
I think Casper's
again,
given
guys.
up. Oh no, he's getting going now.
The penalties are going to come into play here.
Oh, definitely.
With so few laps left. Super Calgon, again, he needed a big haul of points, but those extra penalties, 6 seconds he's got. Chrissy, probably the fastest man on track at some points today. He's got 9 seconds. Harry with 12. So Landon's got a great chance of winning this if he just keeps it conservative, keeps them in sight. He's got a very good chance. No DRS for the first 2 laps after a safety car. This is Landon's to lose, in theory now. If he just keeps it smooth
definitely.
and clean, with no penalties, it's his race to lose. And Super Calgon, massively. Calvert, 17 seconds worth of penalties. Jacko, 15. It's going to be an interesting finish. I think there's going to be a lot of movement post-checkered flag here.
Oh, definitely, with all these time penalties that I've had to look at.
I'm just trying to work out here. Super Calgon and Jays with the penalties. Jays is a second behind Super Calgon. A Super Calgon up the inside of Chrissy. Very smooth move there. He gets the job done up into P4.
He'll be loving that.
So, yeah, Super Calgon about a second ahead of Jay-Z after the penalties at the minute. But Chrissy back at him there. Great racing here. He's going to have the inside on the next hairpin. So, Super Calgon probably not going to have... Although with that traction... Oh, just misses the back of him there. Next hairpin up the inside. They're going to make contact here, surely. Super Calgon forces Chrissy wide, and Blades is going to be the benefactor here, I think. Round the outside, the camera's gone weird for me. Round the outside, Blades can't make it stick. Chrissy keeps hold of 5th place, but Super Calgon elbows out. He's got a championship to try and get back into here, and he's taking no prisoners there at that hairpin. DRS enabled. 2 laps to go. And we have Ben leads from Liam, but Lanard in P3. Looking more and more likely that this could be his race. We have Casper spun it again. Nightmare finish to this race for Casper. He's been a bit too friendly on the ghost front at present. So I'm just trying to work out. I think at the minute Jays will be finishing in P5. He'll be only 1 place behind Super Calgon at present, if he keeps it clean from here. Possibly P6 actually, because Polly will overtake him because he's got no penalties at the minute.
This is going to be one heck of a race.
I think Jays has just sort of admitted, I'll sit here.
Liam's gone for him. Now Liam has gone around the outside and taken the race lead off Liam.
Which is the inside of the next corner and keeps that inside. He'll cut across now and keep the inside line. Job done. Now, can Liam get 3 seconds ahead of Landod in this last lap? Or is Landod going to take the race victory? He is 1.2 behind him at present, so Liam needs to build up another 1.8 seconds in this last lap to take this victory with the penalties.
He's increasing that time a good amount.
1.5 as they go on to the last lap. Yeah, Polly ahead of Jays now. I think Jays just sort of giving up that position. I think Jays is being conservative here and thinking with the penalties he's guaranteed to move a few places up the field. I think he's just saying Super Calgon's going to be... He's probably going to lose at least a position. So I think Jay's just taking as many points as he can get here. And no, Super Calgon's not going to win this. And he might as well just finish where he's going to be. So 1.4. Liam not extending that lead from Landod enough at present. 1.5. So I think Landod may have this in the bag. Landod emptying that battery down the back straight, knowing there's definitely a race victory on here. And Super Calgon coming down the back of him now. Of course, Super Calgon desperate for points.
Made a move on Harry as well.
it's going to be too little too late, I think, for Super Calgon with them penalties, and it's going to be advantage J's going to Austria. So, as we come into the final sector here, Liam leads from Ben Smith, but I think it is going to be Lano Cam's victory here in the Aston Martin. And it will be so interesting with all these penalties to see where people do finish up, as Liam will take the checkered flag, but only briefly, I think, with that 3-second penalty. So Liam round the corner, wins the race, but it is going to be a P1 for Lanod. A very clean penalty-less race, there we go. And very clean racing.
Calgon
gets that.
2 places ahead of Jade.
P5 for Calgon, P7 for Jays, which at one point that looked unlikely, so I think he will take that. Chrissy, one of the fastest men on track today, as was Blades with the P6 and the P8 respectively, and Pinto finishes off the points with a P10.
Yeah, Chrissy, that shows here, did get the fastest lap as well.
He was showing great pace on those fresh softs at one point, but it is a race win for Lanard Cam. Congratulations.
Just to interrupt as well, sorry. I'm deeply sorry for all the people watching my absence. I tried to explain to my family members, but they seem to not listen to me at all. But yeah, sorry about that, guys.
There we go, Aston Martin on top. And solid points haul for Ferrari as well there to extend their constructors lead. I think that one's in the bag now going into the final race.
I've noticed this as well. That is a full British podium.
But I think Ben has not done himself any harm there with the sprint win and then a P3. So championship's definitely not over yet, but it is definitely advantage Jay-Z going in to the final race next week.
Shall we get Liam in? Who else shall we get in? So I'll put it on the chat.
We try and get Jay's in, talk about his thing, and if possible, let's get Ben in.
We'll get Liam in first. Wait, is it Jay-Z or JJ? I've had a brain fart.
Jay-Z.
Okay. And then who was it? So, Liam, Jay-Z.
Ben and Liam.
Just gotta wait and see who would like to join now. Don't think anyone's joining at this rate.
we have Liam.
Hello, Liam.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you doing?
Ish. Fucking family and that. But anyways, unfortunately for you, you took the flag, but you didn't get the ball.
No, the safety car seemed to have backed everyone up a little bit. I was hoping that Lando would get a penalty late on, but obviously he managed to just keep in that distance between me and Ben.
Yeah,
How did you enjoy the racing tonight with Ben? Some great racing for most of the race, in theory. The two of you there.
Yeah,
Neither
it
of you
was.
could break the DRS on the other.
No, it was literally like to and fro, and like I say, it was very, like I say, very very tense for the whole race. We even said after the safety car there's going to be a lap of DRS. Like I said, there was. I was definitely worried at that last DRS straight. Following Ben for a while there, I noticed that he had his red light flashing. I had maybe a reserve of maybe 30% in my ERS left, so I pretty much used it all up that big straight for the last DRS in order to kind of keep him just behind me. But yeah, apart from that, I'd say very very eventful. Safety cars galore. I didn't really see much ahead of me. There was lots of events gone on. I can hardly imagine it was a fun race for you guys to commentate on. Lots of stuff to view on.
It was some really good racing. Again, it was hard to keep track of everything that was happening, but again, some really good racing. And again, it was good to see you and Ben battling through many corners there. So good points haul, and you've done yourself really proud tonight.
No, thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for commentating again.
Take care.
I'll see you in a bit.
And I saw Mr. JZ, our championship leader, just hanging on, if I'm correct.
Damage limitation tonight, we think.
I think we're having a bit of...
We've shocked him into silence.
I think he's having a bit of technical issues.
Oh, sorry, I'm back here. Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah, I apologize for that. I think it was a bit of damage limitation in the end. And I have to take the end result. But yeah, I don't think that's going to be the end of my night, unfortunately. I think I'm going to have to be in the stewards room for a little bit. I'm not sure how much of what happened you saw, but there's a few incidents in my race which I'm going to have to discuss.
Yeah. But again, overall, taking the lead into Austria, you've got to feel confident now that the championship, unless something drastic happens, it's coming home to Ferrari.
Yeah, well, I said to Liam just as the race ended that I gained 4 points in the sprint tonight and then lost 4 in the race. So we're effectively break even on the night.
But do you think Ben may have overtaken Supercar and now become your rival? Because
I didn't see how
P3
well
and P1.
Ben did. He was well ahead of me. I couldn't see the leaders, unfortunately.
So he won the sprint race and then came P3 after the penalties in the feature race.
So that's going to be 17 points for the win and then 15 points. So he's going to have it's going to go good points all tonight.
Oh,
We'll have to see what the standards are like after the race. I'm not sure where it was on to know where he's at now, but I think I'm still in the lead, but I'm not sure. We'll have to double check the standards when they come out.
What do you think cost you today? Do you think it was that early pit stop onto the mediums, possibly meaning that you had to go soft?
The early onto the mediums was not too bad. It would have meant going to the second set of mediums and then the softs towards the end would have made my race a 2-stopper. The one that really cost me was the one later on in the race. I'm not sure if you saw that.
Is that the front wing with Pole?
That was the one.
I
that's
caught the back end of that.
That's the one I think I'm going to have to be in the stewards room about. I'm not sure whose fault that was or what happened, but I had nowhere to go and just caught a big accident.
Yeah, again, we saw Pole just before that. He'd lost positions just before that incident, hadn't he, in the corner before, whether his tyres weren't up to temperature from an earlier spin. But again, I didn't get it that good a view. I caught the back end of it, really.
From my view, I was extremely lucky if that's not end my race. Because I hit my front wing hard there. So, I got away with one. So I'm lucky to got what I've got. But, yeah. Slightly frustrated with Paul at the end of the race, overtaking me on 2 laps from the end. That would have been an extra 2 points for me.
But do you think he would have got you anyway with the penalties?
possibly, but as it could have been a team order call to hang back.
But no, again, like you say, damage limitation tonight, and those do add up. You'd rather get 2 or 3 points rather than DNF. So
exactly, I'll have to check out what's going on with Ben Smith and how good his points haul has done for him. But yeah, net even to Calgon. I'll let you go away and speak to Ben. I'm sure he's going to be
yeah, I'm just going to give
happy
you
with his result.
I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek. These standings will be out before tomorrow. The updated standings from this race will be up before tomorrow.
Cool. We'll have to get a look and see how well Ben's done.
But no, congratulations tonight, and we will see you next week for the finale of the season.
Thanks, guys.
Best of luck. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
That's Jay's joining us there. He is the championship leader still, going into the last race, we believe. And all to play for. Again, he's got to be confident though, because everything seems to come up trumps with him here. He had a bit of a nightmare feature race there, but Calgon wasn't able to capitalise. Ben obviously got those penalties towards the end, so P2 becomes P3. I'm just got to think sometimes your bad races.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just going to try find Ben, see if he wants to join. God, that's the thing with drivers, trying to find their PS4 username. Jesus Christ. Could you add him, because I can't find his thingy.
Yep, no problem. He's already in the party, so he just needs to actually join the voice chat.
Alright. I'll just spam him on Discord then, get him to listen to us. If not, that's hard trying to get drivers to listen. God, drivers and trying to get them to join, it's like trying to get a toddler to listen. Never fucking happens. I don't think Ben is going to be joining. Yeah. Yeah. There might be a little bit of a twist next week. Because as hasn't been announced publicly yet, but this will be my last, or the Austria Grand Prix will be my last driving one. I'll be going back to full commentary next season. So it's going to be like my retirement drive. I'm not going to do a Kimmy. Well, I'll try not to. Right. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, okay. I'll see you a bit, Harry. Right, guys, that was it for the Round 6 USA Grand Prix. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, smash the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys next week.